What up, people? Welcome to another episode of Social Moments. So today, Burna Boy is getting dragged. So a couple from the United States and London, respectively, came to Nigeria to attend the wedding of their childhood friend. After the wedding ceremonies were done, they decided to go to a popular hangout spot on Victoria Island, Lagos, Cubana, the Cubana Club in Lagos. About 20 friends or so. It was like the after wedding celebrations. They went there, they were having fun. Later, Burna Boy and his people came, where their life turned upside down and their lives flashed before their eyes, especially two of them who were shot, one in the head and the other in the thigh respectively. So according to one of the survivors of the incidents, the female, a wife to one of the guys who came from abroad, they were in the club having their fun. Burna Boy and his associates came later. One bodyguard / police officer of Burna Boy, called Ibrahim or whatever, came to them and said that Burna Boy wanted to see her, to which she replied that she's not interested because she's married. So the guy went away, but soon after he came again for the second time, and he was told the same thing. And he went away and came back the third time. And at this point, everybody was pissed, understandably, because you can't be disrespecting somebody's wife like that, especially when you've been told off twice. So there was a little exchange here and there, and the guy went back. And here's where things get scary and sketchy. Apparently, when he went back, Burna Boy gave some signal, and the bodyguards, started firing in the direction of the couple and their friends. Now, the incident left two of the guys who came from abroad injured. One shot in the thigh and lost a lot of blood and needed donors immediately as he was taken to the hospital, and the other one got a bullet grazing his head. Luckily, he also survived. Now, the woman in the center of all this confusion has come out and spilled the tea, like from the top to bottom, it's overflowing. After she has sit and watched that, the Nigerian police, the club owner, which is Cubana, who initially called her or contacted her and said he would do something about the incident, and Burna Boy has not taken any form of responsibility and nothing has come out of the incident. She decided enough is enough, and she came on her IG stories and she has spilled everything from top to bottom. So I'm going to read out the detailed accounts to you so you can follow along and understand everything from the direct source. Subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, and like this video.
It says, after taking time out to heal and process the events that occurred between my partner, my best friend and her husband, and at Burna Boy Gram at Cubana Group at Cubana Lagos nightclub in Victoria Island, Lagos, we were visiting Nigeria from America and London for our childhood friend's wedding. On the 8th of June 2022, at Burna Boy and his friends opened fire at us in Cubana, Lagos. My partner and his friend were shot, with both needing urgent medical care. A bullet grazed my partner's head and our friend was shot in the thigh, leaving him hospitalized and needing an emergency surgery in Nigeria. Around 3 a.m., I went to the Cubana club with some of my friends. We were there for a couple of hours celebrating the newlyweds. We were about 20 at the club and we were having a nice time in the VIP section. We were laughing, drinking and having a good time. Burna Boy and his friends came in. We were still there having fun. As the night progressed, one of Burna Boy's friends walked to talk to me. His request was for Burna Boy to talk to me. On that first attempt, I told him I wasn't interested in talking to Burna Boy and I am married to my partner. He came again the second time and was met with the same response. He came the third time and that caused a few of our friends to flare up as they asked why he kept coming to disturb me. There were words back and forth, and one of Burna Boy's friends attacked one of our friends, and as they attacked him, the situation degenerated into a fight. As the first fight started, the security at Cubana stepped in and were able to calm the situation. As that happened, everybody was slowly going back to their section when two of Burna Boy's friends, another fight started, and the security at Cubana jumped in again. As they were fighting, Burna Boy's friends started shooting after what looked like a signal from Burna Boy. At this point, the club was in chaos. Everyone was screaming and trying to vacate the premises. At this point, I couldn't find my partner or my best friend. I was screaming for help after being lifted and thrown so hard on the floor by one of Burna Boy's friends, and I hurt my left shoulder. All our private police officers were not allowed into the club, so it was left to us to fight for our lives. One of our friends at the Flow Wolf was trying to get Burna Boy to calm the situation, but he only laughed at him and proceeded to get in his car whilst being protected by his security. The shooting happened twice at different times. His friends were also shooting at people trying to evacuate the club through the main entrance. They were out to kill and didn't care who got hit. My partner's head was bleeding profusely and his friends lost so much blood. He needed a donor as soon as he got to the hospital. As Burna Boy left Cubana Lagos with a scratch and flew out to Spain the next morning. As Obi, Cubana only reached out to us 4 days after the event, claiming he had no idea and would do everything to get us justice for attempted murder. 11 days later, there has been no CCTV footage released by the club or even a statement to address the incident publicly. Business has carried on as usual for him. Even after leaving the club to safety outside, or at least I thought I was safe, the same man that initially approached me on behalf of Burna Boy saw me and said, "Oh, you are the one that was doing Shakarabi," then reached into his bottoms to get something resembling a gun. Luckily, at this point, my friend found me and pulled me away just in time. He retracted and got into a car and left. To sum things up, I'm traumatized. I've broken down every day since then. The random flashbacks and nightmares, especially after seeing it at Burna Boy response, the lack of remorse or accountability is beyond me. At least 2 people could have died that night.
A very sad situation, right? So, usually in things like this that involve celebrities, even if it weren't them who did something directly, for the sake of their reputation, and, they come out and, reassure people and say some common nice words, maybe pay a visit, do something here and there to make amends. That's not happening with Burna Boy. In one particular tweet, he says Nigerian social media can accuse him of even starting Boko Haram. He is not having any of that. He's not taking an ounce of responsibility. Now, it's sketchy if he was the one who ordered them to fire the gunshots, and even if it wasn't him, this was his posse. This was his people, his associates who did that. So even if it wasn't him who ordered them directly to do it, these were people who he were with. And these were like 5 police officers who've all been arrested. 5 police officers who were being Burna Boy's bodyguard on the night, and they've been arrested. And according to the police, investigation is being carried out internally. They said it was the policeman attached to him, aka Burna Boy, who shot, and it's an internal disciplinary matter. They would explain why they had to shoot into the air, and the outcome of their explanation during the investigation will determine what steps to take next. So it's an internal thing which the police officers that were with him, except you have news that Burna Boy was the one shooting, then we will have to investigate him, how he got the gun and all that. But what we have for now is that the policemen were the ones shooting. And I quote, "We are treating the policemen internally for disciplinary matters. We didn't get a report of somebody being hit by a bullet. If somebody was hit by a bullet, anybody treating the person is supposed to have reported. But we didn't get any report of such. The investigation is ongoing," end quote. And they haven't said nothing more publicly since they did a couple of weeks ago after the initial incident ensued. Now, according to sources, immediately after this was said and done, and he flew out to Spain to have a show where it recorded massive audience. So the 2 victims, Iribami, Lawrence, and Tolu, are still recuperating from the incident that happened at Cubana Club, and hopefully they get well soon, and we get to even hear their side of the story of everything to get a clearer picture of what transpired that night. Anyway, that's my time for now. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know how you feel about this, and subscribe.